All right, here we are trying to figure out the customer complaint of super low idle and, you know, stalling pretty much. We're in our driveway right now. We're gonna stop and come to a stop. We're idling so low that the oil pressure light comes on. And there we go, stalled out. So this is definitely interesting here. Stalled again. Stalled again. So it's pretty repeatable. You tap the gas a little bit and so let's go in reverse here. Almost stalled. Almost stalled. Back up a little more. So this is pretty repeatable of, you know, pretty much at idle it just wants to stall out here. Oh, she almost stalled again. All right, so we got something going on here. All right, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more wide open throttle run here. So around, like I said, 5,500 RPM, it screws up real bad, but 5,000 starts acting up. Gotta watch out for the deer. So we'll do one more wide open right now. Wide open, wide open, wide open. Hesitating. So that should give us some good data of what's going on. We'll have to review it because I can't watch the screen and watch the road at the same time. Another reason why I make these videos. Obviously our check engine light's flashing again because it's complaining about misfires, but that does not look like good wide open throttle data, just glancing over at it. Well guys, another clue. Check out 4 and 3 on monitor. I'm gonna look at the misfires on 4 and 3. One doesn't really have any, the other ones really don't have any. We got a few counts, but nothing like 4 and 3, which is related to one bank. We're gonna have to do some research on that. But it's just another clue. No knock correction, no knock signal. Weird. Is the timing off? I find that very hard to believe, but I've seen weirder, so we'll have a peek. Oop, damn, those brakes are a little touchy. Yep, there we go. She gonna settle down or what? Open header. see any check engine lights. There's no flashing check engine lights right there. Nothing. I still don't see no flashing check engine lights. I apologize for the camera. Ooh, hello, hello, hi, hello. So, does this car have a breathing problem? That's the way it kind of seems, because blinking. She ain't blinking, folks. We're coming up to a stop sign. We'll do the engine load. I am deaf. Legit deaf from trying this test run. So, here we go. Check engine light did not flash, so does that mean our cats are clogged? Somebody in our rear view. I don't know. Oh man. What the fuck is that? It's an open header right there. Back in our neighborhood, so we're not gonna spit shit all over the place compared to everywhere else. But the check engine light did not flash at all. So to me, that means we have a clog, because it flashed every single time we did full throttle at 5,000 RPM. That was it. It was game over. that was it. Now we're running open header and did not see that check engine light flash a single time. I do apologize for the seatbelt. I don't believe in wearing seatbelts, so. But how about if we? Oh wow, we stalled. We actually stalled on full breathing. What gives with that? Jeez. Alright, so the saga continues. That because the O2 sensor's just disconnected? Oh God, the saga continues. The saga continues. So clear flood does not restart the engine. So the saga continues right here, right now. I just want to show you how this thing is cranking over. It's like one good hit for every 3 cylinders. I shit you not. Hit, 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 hit. And of course the battery's running low now. But something's going on here. Alright folks, we're back in the Subaru. Same exact one. Here we go for a full throttle test. Yeah, baby. Beautiful. Yep. We got story time when we get back to the shop about what the actual problem was. It's gonna blow your mind. I do apologize that I didn't make a video of everything. I was showing you the symptoms. And like, even if I come to a complete stop, well, there's a car coming. I don't want to be suspicious, but when I come to a complete stop here, RPMs hold very steady. Beautiful shift points. Maximum power. That's what we're looking for. So, we'll tell story time when we get back to the shop and complete this video of this diagnosis. This was definitely one for the record books. All right, we're recording. So, we are back in the garage with the red Subaru. Like I said, I didn't, if I were to make a video of everything I troubleshot on this thing, it would be a very, very long video. But in the end, I did figure it out of what the problem was. You want to take a guess? Because it's going to shock you. I thought it was electrical. I thought it was ignition. I was hunting ignition, which I also got another story about that, dealing with this after everything was said and done about ignition. But 53 pounds of fuel pressure. Spark, beautiful. We had spark coming out of the coil. Cam and crank on the oscilloscope, perfect. Spark plugs, I changed them just for the hell of it. No change. Smoke tests. Smoke test got a little interesting. I will show you this. Since I have the same car, I had the pleasure of being able to compare stuff. And one red flag should have been load value right there at the top. In idle. I let both of them idle for 20 minutes. In idle. So the top one right there. Mine was 13. The other one was 16. This one, this red one, was 16. So it had extra load on the engine. The engine was trying extra to keep running. So that should have been red flag number 1, and I just didn't catch it. Keep going down. The only other issue, there's actually 2 right there. Catalyst temp. Catalyst temperature. Mine, 340 degrees, and idle for 20 minutes. This red one, 836 degrees. So, what did my mind right away go to? Oh, it's gotta be the cats. Gotta be the cats. So, what did I do? I did probably what you guys would have done. Drop them. Just remove it. You know, it's a couple bolts. The whole thing drops down. 2 sensors. Guess what? No change on the misfires and how it ran. Ooh, it gets interesting, right? We go further down. I'm just going to zoom out so you can just enjoy reading them. Oh boy, where is it? I got to go through it myself. Map. Manifold absolute pressure. Mine was 3.77. This one was 5.66. Well, when I did a smoke test, that was actually leaking. All right. That was actually leaking. I'm going to put this paper away now. I hope you guys got the gist of, you know, what's normal versus this one that was abnormal. But put that paper away. When it came to the map sensor, that was actually an actual problem. And like I said, I have my camera on this fancy tripod here, so as you can see, there's supposed to be a nipple, so it's supposed to be like this long. And the nipple was actually broken. There's an O-ring, and it sits kind of right here. It was broken. So this was actually giving 2 atmospheres more of bad data. And once I put in a new one, we were golden. Speaking of which, I got one off of Amazon. If I remember to, I'll put a link in the description of the one I got, because it did not cost $300 like a factory one would. And the junkyards by me did not have one. So I did have to actually get one off Amazon, and I went cheap, and I usually don't. But I went cheap, and guess what? It reads beautiful. So I'll give a link of the one I got, because it didn't even have reviews on Amazon. It was just on there. And I bought it with the engine off. Perfect 14 atmospheres. The engine on, it's reading pretty much identical to the other one. So the smoke test did its thing, and I did find one actual vacuum leak, of all places. Go figure. So that was that. Where did I go from there? I'm like, all right, no vacuum leaks. Short-term, long-term fuel trims are pretty much identical. But we're still having this misfire at high RPMs and stalling. Low RPM and stalling coming to a stop. What the hell is going on? Well, did what anybody would do, right? Because at that point, I did not have an oscilloscope. I finally bought one. You know what this is. The whole ignition system, the coil, and the wires, all from NGK, all NGK brand. Put that on. Absolutely no change. And I know I'm probably cut out of the picture. I'm not used to a tripod here, folks, but this guy did not fix my issue, because even though you can read the incoming side, eventually I did buy an oscilloscope to see, is it actually sending the firing signals. You got one for the top and one for the bottom. So it's a 4-wire hookup. You got positive and ground. They were perfect. Beautiful. Positive and ground were perfect. And then you got your 2 signal wires because you got 2 coils, but it's a waste spark system. So, this coil's firing or this coil's firing. You got 2 wires for that, right? One for the top and one for the bottom. And that was good. That was perfect. So, all right, got spark. Fuel injectors. Pulsating beautifully. I even removed them. They look clean. I flushed them out. Drawing short straws at this point, folks. Flushed them out. No change. After that, it became a crank no start. It just, right where you see it, is right where it cranked. It sounded like it wanted to start, but it just wasn't starting anymore. And I was like, all right, whatever was shit in the bed, shit the bed. And that's where we're at today. Oh, also checked ground from like the intake to the battery, making sure, you know, we're getting good voltages, good power. I went through everything, people. Went through absolutely everything. But like I said, once it became a crank no start, I was like, well, something changed. Something happened. And so, take a guess on what we actually did. That's right, people. That was the problem. The whole engine. Why? Well, I haven't torn it down yet. I will be making a teardown video. But this guy, well, I have two thesis statements on this of what happened, and I believe one led to the other of the ultimate failure. Number one was, again, when I was troubleshooting, testing, even though I don't have the best tools, a cylinder leak down test. Valves held beautifully. I could hear a little bit of air out of the intake, but it wasn't the valves. Because when I opened up the oil cap, I could hear air out of there. And when I put smoke in the other cylinders, as I was about to leak down one, smoke was coming out. So it was coming out the rings on all 4 cylinders. So what I believe happened is just the excessive amount of pressure going on in here, because this thing was an oil burner. It stunk. It just stunk like burning oil all day long. I believe the air was causing cavitation in the oil pump, because we did see that on lower RPMs. And I hope I still have that video, and I hope it's part of this whole entire video. I believe that this thing pretty much died of low oil pressure due to the cylinder blow-by. And from what I was told, the crankshaft was replaced with, you know, pistons and rings. I don't think they did it right, though. But I believe eventually a thrust bearing, you know, I'm pretty sure it spun a bearing without making a single sound. And that's what threw me down the biggest rabbit hole, was it spun a bearing without making a sound. I've never heard of such a thing. Every video I watch on YouTube is rod knock. But I don't think this has rod knock. I think this thing just has a spun crank bearing. And supposedly this guy put in a new crankshaft, but did he pair up the proper crank bearings? That is to be determined. We will eventually tear that down. But as you saw in the last clip, this car runs immaculate now. So I'm hoping tomorrow to take it for one more final test drive. And that's it. I was going to give it back today. Let me see where I'm at on this. Let's get back here. I was going to give it back today. But that brings us back to this brand new mind you, NGK coil kit. Car was running great until my first test drive. 5 miles in, I stopped to get gas. I'm pumping gas. I left the car running. And all of a sudden, I noticed the car shaking really badly. What the hell? Well, long story short, I get home. We all know the connector's here. I was like, I don't see any check engine lights. I don't see anything weird on my live data. It's got to be ignition, right? Just like the first time around, but it wasn't electrical the first time around. Well, when I went to go give the wires here a wiggle test to see if I can make it drop out. Which in the end, something in this guy, when he gets heat soaked and you push on it, the car dies. But another failure was I got shocked to all living hell by, oh man, what is that? Cylinder number 4? This guy. Pointing on the bottom. Oh yeah, I got whacked. Pretty good. So not only are the wires junk, the coil, when I got heat soaked, was just acting totally erroneous. I put the factory stuff back on, took it for a test drive. So far, it's been good. I gave everything another wiggle check. She's not dropping out. And so, that's where we're at. Got an engine from PMP Auto down in Mertztown, which is a little past Allentown. Really great guys to deal with. I give them a 4 out of 5. Only because they said 1 week, it turned out to be a week and a half that I had to wait. And second off was, I'll show you. Second off was that guy. These two pins, these plastic pins, whatever they are, do not fit a 2009 Subaru Legacy single overhead cam. So, this harness for an 09 Legacy, I don't know what this harness came out of, but it does not fit. Does not fit this car. So, that kind of sucked. I wound up just swapping the intake manifolds because I originally tried pulling the wiring harness out. And trying to pull it from underneath, it's just a pain in the ass. It was just way more efficient to just take the original one, throw it on, call it a day. So it's been, this has been one crazy journey. But I'm finally, I believe by tomorrow, like I said, one more test drive tomorrow to ensure as best as I can that this thing is tip top for the customer, and then drop it off at their house. So I hope this video, I hope you learned something. Maybe it'll help you out. And like I said, more of a story time, but like I said, next up, well, that's not next. Next up is 231 transfer case off of a Jeep Cherokee. Guy wants to get the slip yoke eliminator put in, so we're gonna do that. Yeah, there's a few YouTube videos out there already on it, but we're gonna make our own. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty quick. Like I said, I'll set up the tripod and we're just gonna do it. So we got slip yoke eliminator, and then we're gonna see what actually failed in that engine. Obviously the block's not windowed, so we might go through with an actual rebuild depending what the damage is inside. If not, there's a lot of good parts I know of to put on the marketplace. So, thanks for watching. Till next time.